We're on 500 South, we're in Salt Lake City, and we're about to hit up an amazing patisserie, a bakery of epic proportions, Les Madeleines. Romina Rasmussen, she's a master baker, she's also a community builder, and she is an artisan of flavor. We're about to get a little sweet with you. Are you ready? Well, let's mask up, I'll see you in there. Romina!
Hey Katie, how's it going?
Oh, so much better now that I'm here.
I'm excited to have you here.
I mean, I feel like we're about to introduce people to all of the insider secrets, all of the magic that goes on.
All
in the
magic. Yeah, and are you hungry?
I always come to Les Madeleines.
Nice.
Lead the way.
Awesome.
I see lots of butter. I see a little dough. Talk
Yep.
to me about what's happening.
We're gonna make some croissants.
Ooh.
So laminating is a big part of what we do here at Les
Okay.
Madeleines. We do a lot of laminated doughs. So we do our own puff pastry, we make our own croissant dough, and then we do a wide variety of croissants throughout the week.
Okay.
And then of course Queen Amman are also laminated, and
Yes.
everybody loves those. But today we are gonna make just a beautiful butter croissant. So we need our dough to be pliable, right? So this
Okay.
is not pliable, but we
Nice.
want it to stay cold.
Okay.
So when I'm doing bigger pieces, I use the sheeter, but for this little piece, I'm just gonna use the rolling pin.
Okay.
So kind of stand back for just a second.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pound it. Now it's thin and it's also pliable.
Yeah.
So what's going to happen is it's gonna stretch in between our layers.
Oh my gosh, this
Okay, so
is
we
so awesome.
got one ready. So we want our butter to cover roughly 2/3 of our dough.
Okay.
I'm gonna fold it over.
Okay.
Okay, so that's a turn. And the thing that's really important is to keep the dough square.
Okay.
And the reason is we want all the layers to go through the entire piece of dough. So what I don't want to do is do too many turns at once because it overworks my dough, and then we end up with a croissant that's like tough and chewy.
Okay.
So we're gonna let this rest in
Okay.
the fridge.
All right.
And in about 20 minutes, we're gonna do another turn.
Oh, fantastic. We've done our first 2 turns by hand.
Yes.
You like to finish the third in
I
the
do
sheeter?
the third in the sheeter.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. So we're just going to flour it just a little. Yeah, here we go. All right, so here we've got our dough.
And you can see the butter. Like,
Yeah, and
that's
you can
so
still
cool.
Yeah, and you can still see the layers.
Yeah, there's
You
so
know?
many layers.
So we weigh ours out to 70 grams, and then this way they all come out the same. So now they all weigh 70 grams.
Okay.
So I kind of stretch out the end a little bit,
All right.
and then I roll. All right. This one for you.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna just stretch it a little bit.
Stretch it
Yeah,
out.
there you go.
Okay.
Okay, and then I'm just gonna tug on the corners
On
there,
the corners.
and then I'm gonna roll from the center.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, just like that.
Roll from the center.
And then what some people do, maybe you'll find this way easier, is that they roll this way,
Oh, interesting.
right? So they roll in that direction.
So, Romina, we've gone
Yes.
from croissants to macarons. So,
Yeah.
walk us through the process to get to where we are right now.
All right, well, we made a meringue, and
Okay.
we're doing an Italian style.
What's the difference?
Well, the French style, you just make a meringue with room temperature whites, egg whites, and sugar, and you
Okay.
just whip it up. So an Italian meringue, you cook the sugar.
Okay.
We went to 118 degrees Celsius. It's kind of nice because the other way, you can't make macarons while it's raining, and you can't, like, there's all these things. And
Right.
Right, because of the extra moisture and all this stuff. So this one's a little bit more stable than that. And then we ground up our almond flour with the powdered sugar.
Okay.
And we use freeze-dried strawberries.
Okay.
So to give it a little bit of color
Uh-huh.
and flavor. So like when I was in culinary school, they just taught you to use food coloring. And I don't like food coloring, so I was like, well, I could use freeze-dried fruit to add some color. And now there are a lot of natural powdered food colorings. I get them in Europe, but since we can't go to Europe right now,
Right.
I'm out. So this will be a very pale blush pink.
Oh, very cool.
This way the cookie will actually taste like something, which I prefer
That's
to
so cool.
just having it be a crazy color.
So, is this gluten-free?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So, macarons, are they traditionally made with almond flour?
Uh-huh.
Oh my gosh, that's
Yeah.
so cool.
Yeah, and so if I want something green, then I'll make matcha, or I'll make
Oh.
pistachio, And that's how I'll get color there.
So Romina, we finish laying these all out on the sheet tray, and then where do we go with it?
Well, these would dry for about 30 to 40 minutes.
Okay.
And then they'll get baked.
Okay.
And then when they're cool, they would get filled.
Awesome. Well, I can't wait to just sit down with you and talk to you a little bit about Les Madeleines. Maybe get a couple of delicious items in front
We've
of
got
us.
some treats, yeah.
Okay, amazing. Let's go have a seat.
Let's do it.
Okay, awesome. Romina, I feel like we've done a lot. Just the process of the croissant alone. Now, will you break into that and kind of show
Sure.
us what the croissant should look like?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm gonna remove my
So
mask.
there's a little bit of a crunch.
Okay.
You want that crunch on the outside. And then we're gonna rip it open.
Oh.
So you can see the layers in there.
It's nice and fluffy. There's a lot of like almost little air pocket-y things there. Yeah, that's really, really, really cool. Can I have some?
Yeah, can I have some?
Yeah, absolutely. Laminating is a big part of what you do in a lot of your pastries. So even
Exactly. Most people have heard of us because of Queen Amman. We've been making it forever. We were the 3rd place in the U.S. to make it, so we've been doing it for a really long time. And we also do the traditional way with a lean dough.
Okay. What is the difference between like a lean dough or
So a
rich
lean
dough?
dough is literally just flour, salt, water, yeast. That's a lean dough. So it's basically a bread dough.
Okay.
Whereas this has the milk, and so it's a much it lightens it up.
Are you laminating that as well as far
This is
as with
laminated.
butter and?
But yep, some layers of butter and then some layers with sugar.
Okay. And that
So-
way it's crunchy all the way through and then kind of moist in the center.
Yeah, so the sugar that's on the outside caramelizes and gets crunchy. The sugar on the inside melts and becomes like this gooey syrup in between the layers. So it has layers just like this, but they're a lot thicker between.
So good.
It's
Like
pretty
if you
magical.
haven't had.
Yeah, and there's a lot of fleur de sel in there. So
Oh.
so you get that salty caramel.
What is
So
this?
So that's our rice pudding. So we use arborio rice, so it's just like if we had made risotto.
Okay.
And we put a cinnamon cremeux on top. So cremeux is like a custard that we've added chocolate to.
Oh my gosh.
And so the chocolate is from a company called Weiss. It's a French chocolate company.
Okay.
It's their Aneo chocolate. And we've added, what we did with the milk was we steeped Ceylon cinnamon in it. I like Ceylon cinnamon versus some of the others because it has a nice little kick to it.
Yeah.
And so you get a little bit of heat, and then there's vanilla in the rice pudding itself.
Romina, what do you love about baking?
I like giving people joy. Like, that's what I wanted to do, and this is just how I go about doing it. I still think it's magical watching, puff pastry puff up in the oven. I love staring at it. I just think that there's an element of magic, and I know it's science, but science is also kind of magical too. So.
And you are so intentional about everything that you source. You have these beautiful products that are I understand, only available at Les Madeleines.
Yeah. So we have Alain Miette juices and nectars, and they've got this awesome grape juice. It's a muscadet grape, and they've packed it like a champagne. So you take the cage off and you open it exactly as you would a bottle of champagne, and it's really beautiful grape juice, and it's lightly carbonated. So that's kind of new for us. We've only had it for about a month. And then we've had their nectars for a few years now. I had those for the first time when I was in France a few years ago, and I really loved them. So I was like, it took me like 6 months to figure out how to get some here, but we finally found some.
Romina, let's talk a little bit about COVID.
Yeah.
So 2020
COVID.
hits. We're thinking
Yes.
life is good. 2020 vision. There's so many great things associated with 2020.
Yeah.
And
Well, I had been tracking COVID since January when it
Yeah.
was just mostly in China and kind of starting to spread. We closed down on March 16th, thinking, we would do our part to flatten the curve. But, we had to reopen eventually.
Yeah.
And a lot of us had been traveling right before then. So that kind of worked out. We would have all had to quarantine anyway.
Yeah.
And so we reopened, I think, the first few days of April with online ordering only. And a contactless curbside. So, and you can still have a contactless curbside pickup.
Yeah.
You send us a text when you get here, and we take it out to the concrete patio,
Great.
to the concrete counter on our patio. We have space for 4 people to come inside at once
Yeah.
and maintain social distancing. So we've done as much as we can, and obviously all the cleaning and all the sanitizing and all that stuff as well. basically our lunch business disappeared because everyone's working from home.
Yeah.
And so right now we do like 1 or 2 grab and go lunch items for now, and that's it.
Yeah.
Most folks have been really gracious and like, oh, this is cool. And there's a few people who are like, but I wanted more stuff. And it's like, well, me too. But
we all wanted things maybe a little different.
But you know, we're gonna roll with it.
Yeah.
And I think the more that you can just be flexible, the more you're gonna just be okay. Yeah.
Romina, if people want to do specialty orders or things like that, do you do that?
We get a lot of requests for different things, and if as long as it's something that we do,
right?
As long as it's something that you know is in within the realm of our skill set. If you need 300 croissants for your breakfast party, sure, I can absolutely do that.
Like if I wanted a Meyer lemon tart for my birthday that was like a bigger than that.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You know, that was a selfish question, but I had to
we
ask.
can make you your very own 8-inch Meyer lemon tart.
I mean,
and it's all yours. You don't have to share because it's your birthday.
Exactly. That's what I want.
We do stuff like that.
Well, Romina, this has just been so fun. It's just a pleasure to be able to be here to see all of like the effort and painstaking care that goes into each of these products. You don't cut corners at all, and it's so special.
Oh, it's my pleasure. I'm glad to. This was really fun.
Yay.